I'm Tammy Trujillo.
You're listening to KCAA Loma Linda at 106.5 FM, K293CF.
Happy. I'm excited to
I am
be able
excited to be here too. It's going to be very interesting where this
Oh,
show
yeah,
goes.
absolutely. So first off, can you tell us a little bit about who you are?
Well, I am Dr. Sharon Barnes, and currently I'm the CEO and owner of ADU Advantage, where we help homeowners and investors leverage property they already own and control in California
Okay.
by implementing accessory dwelling unit strategies, taking advantage of the state laws that allow us to build accessory dwelling units, and then educate homeowners, entrepreneurs on how to use this strategy to create generational wealth, increase their retirement, and change the wealth dynamic of their family.
That's awesome. I feel like this whole topic of generational wealth is so huge right now, with which a lot of people are focusing on what can we do in order to build that generational wealth.
Yeah.
So, what is, I guess, the first step in knowing if someone should add an ADU to their property?
Well, one of the first steps, man, I think that when we had to shut down with COVID, I think people really started thinking about their living space a little different,
Hmm.
and we kind of realized how tangible and how lack of control we have in certain areas, and our
Okay.
eyes open up. And so when we really looked at, say, the senior care facilities, and they locked down and you couldn't get information on your loved ones, you could only, look at them through the window and that
Right.
type of thing. And then we have to realize too that some of those facilities, people were just in there for rehab. They'd had maybe some medical emergency, they needed some therapy, and all of a sudden they're locked down for months. And
Yeah.
so when you're thinking about that and you look that you're, say, in the Inland Empire,
Hmm.
and you have one house sitting on 5 acres.
Oh gosh.
Okay. I mean, we have a lot of sections in our community that have, one R1 or
Hmm.
R5, like one resident on 5 acres, one
Hmm.
residence on 2.5 acres.
Mm.
One, I mean, this is where we've been, and now we look and we got all this land, and it's very rare that more than say a quarter acre behind our house is actually in use.
Mm.
And so with the housing shortage that we've having across the country and in our local communities, you know the powers that be finally saw that, hey, we need to do something to increase housing. And
Right.
so it's a lot of bureaucracy when you want to change zoning codes and do
Hmm.
everything. And so this accessory dwelling unit statewide law came out to allow us to start building existing or additional units on our property without having to rezone, without having to go in and technically say now you can make it a R2 if it's not, but you can put 2 units there. You can even put three. And then the law has been evolving since 2017, the current ADU laws, because we've always had like back houses. We
Right.
understand mother-in-law quarters,
Right. Yep.
granny flats, maid quarters, guest houses.
Yeah.
We understood all that type of thing,
Hmm.
and some people still refer to them today like that. Like locally, we hear a lot about casitas and everything, but casitas can be ADUs and they cannot, because there's certain requirements now, and some things have not been brought up to par, and
Right.
so it matters. But we're not talking about our grandparents' back house. Okay, we're not talking about our grandparents' maid
Right.
quarters. Okay, down in some of the upper communities in Los Angeles County or something like that. We're talking about new build, energy efficient, self sustaining, long time living. Those older units were not meant for people to be able to self sustain there. They
Right.
were still relying on the main house for certain necessities of life.
Hmm.
Maid quarters, guest quarters, they were not for long term living. What we're talking about with accessory dwelling units is long self sustaining units where someone can walk down the side of your garage into their unit and live there and never have to come into your house.
So are you saying, so with ADUs, are you saying that that's something that came about after 2020, or?
The ADU laws, the basis right now that we're building on, actually started in 2017.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
with accessory dwelling units. And so, we were talking like before the show that
Hmm.
words matter,
Yeah.
and people are, using, like I say, casitas and granny
Right.
flats and tiny homes and so forth. And then they're going around trying to get information. They're really focusing on accessory dwelling units, but they're calling them everything. And then they go down to the county and they're talking to people and they'll say, I want to build a tiny home in my backyard. And that's not permitted. Then they call and it's like, Ms. Barnes,
Okay.
I thought that, the ADU law allows me, but the city said I couldn't. I said, well, you asked them for a tiny home. And you can't put that in your backyard, but you can put an ADU. It makes a difference.
Oh, so there's stipulations on what you can and cannot do in order to have it in your backyard, for example.
And I mean, and it's
Okay.
the law, and the law is written in terms of accessory dwelling units and its requirements. Just like when we're driving, drunk driving, everything, you have to know what is the limit, and you have to use the right law to know what's in compliance and what you can do. And if you're using the wrong term or a different term, they're going to look to another law. Okay? If you ask them about tiny homes, there are different rules for tiny homes
That's
versus
so interesting
because
because they do seem quite similar. Like
yes.
I thought it was pretty close.
Yeah, and the similar thing is that's another part of the consulting services and the resources I provide because really, we are the way people are. We use our five senses, okay, to identify and to understand things.
Right.
And with accessory dwelling units, you can't eyeball accessory dwelling units and just know what you're getting because people are calling and saying they said I could buy an ADU for like $50,000 and all this, and I'm like, what? I mean, not for your backyard, because they're park models. These models are built to a different level. They must be in like a mobile home park. They are not permitted in your backyard. Okay? They can't be on wheels. They have to be in your backyard. They have to be on a permanent foundation. But when we go to the plant, and I've walked through and toured modular units and ADUs, and when I look at them, they look the same. I can't
No
tell.
way.
I can't tell that whether it's a 2x4 in the wall and that the building standard that they use to put it together is a mobile building standard versus a standard California building standard equal to a ground up in your backyard. And the manufacturers can make it be what you need it to be. If you're looking for something because you bought a plot of land in a mobile home or a modular park and you want to put one on your park, they can make that happen. If you're in a mobile home
wow.
and you
That's
just want to
interesting.
back it up and remain on the axis, they can make that happen. And they can take another unit and they can build it to the standard and lay a permanent foundation in your backyard, hook up the sewer and put it in your backyard and increase your property because
I
it's
was just about to ask you about that.
it's considered real estate when it's attached to a permanent foundation. If it is not attached to a permanent foundation, it is personal property. It is not real estate and it will not increase your property value if that's your goal. Some people just want to look for the cash flow. And then certain cities are more conducive.
Right.
You can get modular and maybe a ADU and keep it on wheels if maybe you're in Hemet or San Jacinto in certain parts,
my
but you're not going to put that in Rancho Cucamonga.
Right.
Okay, it might look the same, but it will be on a permanent foundation if they allow you to keep it in your yard if you meet setbacks and other requirements.
So you mentioned the difference between personal property and real estate. If it's personal property, correct me if I'm wrong, or no, if it's real estate, so attached to the actual house itself and you have an ADU back there, it'll increase the value of your home. So, and how much is the average ADU?
It varies.
It does. Okay.
Because it depends. I mean, because
Okay.
the ADU can be a garage conversion, and the garage
Okay.
can be attached or detached.
Right.
It can be a garage
That's
on
considered an ADU? Even,
Yes.
oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. The basic requirements of say what is an ADU. It is a self-sustainable living space that you add to your property. There has to be at least one main structure already on that property. We're not talking about raw land. We have to talk
Right.
about that a little differently.
Okay.
Okay, so you have to have a main house there, and then you can build an additional self-sustaining unit on your property. And you have options. You can take that attached garage and convert that into an ADU. There are builders that can turn your 2-car, especially a 3-car garage into a 1-bedroom ADU and have its own kitchen. It has to have its own bathroom. It can have a laundry facility. It can have the bedroom and a separate entrance.
Now, does it
Okay.
have to be a specific size in order for it to be considered an ADU?
No, actually, the ADUs. There are some builders and manufacturers out there that can get you an ADU as small as 150 square feet. I don't know how you just turn around because that's to be
Okay.
self-sustainable.
Right.
But the ADU, you can build up to 1,200 square feet. ADU, three
Oh,
bedrooms,
wow.
two bath. Have that detached in your. When we
Okay.
talked about these large lots in the Inland Empire,
Right.
you can put a 3 bedroom, two bath home in your backyard if you can meet 4 feet setbacks from your property line.
So if you're someone who has, you mentioned earlier 2 acres of land, then you can put a full house somewhere in the
Yes.
back.
Oh,
Wow.
yes.
Okay.
And
That's
you
pretty
know, as long as
cool.
you have that access on the side, you can go down, they can go down the driveway. We have a lot of beautiful rectangular lots here in the Inland Empire State. And,
Mhm.
and I'm working with clients over in Rialto and Fontana, and they got these deep 150, 120-foot lots, right? And they got a smaller house there on the front.
Mhm.
You can just take from that driveway all the way back down the property and have access to the remainder of the lot and then line up those houses and take this single house
Oh.
and make it into a triplex basically because you can convert the garage and then you can also have one detached unit and especially the law is starting to change if it's owner occupied and not owner occupied. It's only
Mhm.
been like I think the last 2 years ago, like 2020, they opened it up to investors and
Mhm.
investors could go into a property and add an ADU and not live there. But if you're living there, you can actually live in the main property and put two additional properties there.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
And how much? And this is probably more of a question for an
Okay.
appraiser. But do you happen to know how much your property value would increase by adding an ADU?
It's not necessarily standard because with real estate, everything is location,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the reasons, like but I'm passionate for the Inland Empire where I live and where my business is and
Right.
where I've been based. And I know
Mm-hmm.
we have a great need for housing with our homeless situation and so forth.
Yeah.
But we also know that when it comes to accessory dwelling units, San Diego County, Orange County, LA have been like crabs on a barrel. Everybody's building ADUs, right?
Oh.
But they're building ADUs because they can convert their garage and they can get $3,500 for rent.
Oh
They
my
can get,
gosh.
oh yeah,
Oh
oh yes,
wow.
there's a lot. It's very expensive, and
Wow.
so for the same money that it would take us to do an ADU in the Inland Empire, they can get almost double the rent that we can get in the Empire. Okay,
Mm.
so but now everything is saturated, and so now they're coming to our community and they're starting to build, and especially Riverside County and Riverside is starting to get real hot, and so forth. But there's opportunities everywhere. But the rental, the rate of return on the rental income versus putting a modular versus a stick bill, say on your property,
Mm-hmm.
that appraisal is going to be a little different,
Okay.
and they can go anywhere from dollar for dollar to 50 cents on the dollar because the appraisers are learning how to appraise these properties and they
Right.
need to have comps.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Oh.
if it's new, it's a new wave coming,
Right.
and if you're waiting for everybody else to answer all your questions and get established, you're going to be the consumer, probably
Yeah.
renting something, paying more for it than
Right.
catching the wave and benefiting long term.
That's quite interesting. I wonder. So, do you think that this is like gearing toward like the future of what we're gonna look for in housing?
Yeah, I was on Steve Matthews show yesterday, and we were talking, and it came out. It's like we're having a hard time educating and getting people to move. When
Mm-hmm.
standard, we're talking about garage conversions.
Yeah.
That's not a unusual term for us.
Mm-hmm.
We got hundreds that are unpermitted. Okay, but now with the law, and that's one thing that people don't understand either. That I just want to take the opportunity to say
Mm-hmm.
is with the accessory dwelling unit law. If you have an unpermitted living structure on your property, this is the time to bring it into compliance with the law so you can legally rent it out, you can upgrade it, and basically have amnesty with none of these penalties and so forth. Sometimes we had
Oh,
had in the
okay.
past where people tried to sell their homes unpermitted structure and they say you have to turn it back to a garage, you have
Oh,
to
no
demolish.
way.
Oh yeah, and
Oh,
they would
wow.
find them. And so and then there's these structures out there because we had a lot of contractors. And it's not that the shoddy work. I mean, I go in and it's like eyeballing it again.
Right.
It's perfect. I mean, it looks just like the house because it
Mm-hmm.
was a general contractor was there and the permits. Because before the ADU laws, I'll just say this: before the ADU laws, we had an opportunity. My partner and I were exploring an opportunity over in Moreno Valley,
Okay.
and we went and we were looking at different costs and how much the project. The permit fees were $45,000. That was included
Oh my
impact. That was
gosh.
permit impact fees. That's when the emergency services, the school fees, all these things that came up. One thing that the accessory dwelling unit law said, hey, these are barriers to
Mm-hmm.
homeowners. We have to remove this. That we should not be charging the people the same rate for an accessory dwelling unit as we do if they build a custom home on a vacant lot.
Right.
It has to be proportionate, you know?
Mm.
And so they put in that the main reason for the laws is to remove some barriers so we can have like all hands on deck to help with this housing project.
Mm-hmm.
So if you only take care of your family, if you only, want to help seniors, if you want your adult kids to stay in the backyard until they can pay enough rent and you can, nobody tells you what to do when you get the rent, okay?
Right.
But you can get them a fund and then when they can go buy a house, they transition out and then you can rent it out. I mean, there's just things, but we have to think in terms of phases and building it. When we talked about generational wealth, it
Mm-hmm.
comes in all different ways. And I
Right.
kind of use that term because that's the buzz term everybody's looking.
Yes.
Okay, but I'm not talking about building it like you can talk to people about the insurance and I mean valid ways to do it.
Right.
I'm just saying within real estate, if you have this garage that you're not using, if you have a fourth of an acre behind your house where you can build up a house and charge income and be mutually beneficial to your family and to the community, it's the time to take advantage of it, you know?
Okay.
And when I was talking about the $45,000, the fees that was so high and outrageous,
Mm-hmm.
right now the law has been, like I say, evolving since 2017.
Right.
So one of the things they did, I believe it was last year, is that they said that if you build an accessory dwelling unit less than 750 square feet in your backyard,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to pay any impact fees. That is saving
Oh,
clients like $20,000
wow.
just on impact fees. Now, I mean, I've worked with people and they insist that they want 1,000 square feet. They can't live in less than 1,000 square feet, 2 bedrooms, whatever, and that's costing them $15,000 to $25,000 more because you have to pay the impact fees. If
Mm-hmm.
you can do 750 square feet, and there's a lot of modular ground up construction, a lot of A to beginning to end companies that will help you build a 748 square feet home, 2 bedrooms, two bath in your backyard, and you're saving $20,000 right there. Okay,
Wow.
so and the cost depends on the finishings. If in LA, we deal with people who are living on hills and slopes, and they're trying to build. If it's not level, it's just a whole lot of things that go into it. The the construction costs right now because of inflation, you can get average between 250 to 300 square feet. That's just to like start,
Mm-hmm.
but you really need to talk to the builders, talk to people like myself that can help you if your budgetary concerns are to keep it low and efficient and you want to build it for your parents or your kids or, or something like that, that we can help you with that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Sharon. So we're gonna go ahead and go on a quick break, and
At 3 p.m. right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio Talk Show. I spent decades as a professional construction manager, business owner, real estate developer, and a college educator, and I enjoy learning new things from other people. We talk a lot about real estate, business, and finance, but we cover a diverse range of other topics as well. Some of the topics we've discussed in the past few months include real estate investing, leadership, higher education, ADUs, marketing using technology, multifamily rental properties, business strategy, entrepreneurship. You never know who may show up or what they may talk about. So join us right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio.
Hello! Welcome to Fire Up Connect. Are you a small business owner? Do you lack the resources to manage your business? Is visibility and brand awareness a top priority for you? Fire Up Connect is a community of small business owners. We help our members find the right connections and the right resources to help them be successful. This isn't your typical business networking group. Members of Fire Up Connect are innovative, driven, and all about building long-lasting relationships. We work to identify your goals and understand what it is you do and how we can help you brand yourself and your business. Fire Up Connect is about creating business opportunities, community projects, educational sessions, and live seminars to help implement effective marketing programs for our members. Fire Up Connect helps members gain validation in their businesses, learn what challenges similar business leaders are facing, and access to subject matter experts on how to overcome these challenges. Fire Up Connect offers opportunities for organic exposure through our many marketing events, programs, and projects. There are 4 colors that make up Fire Up Connect. Yellow represents the back office and services available to Fire Up Connect members. Red represents Fire Up Connect's marketing and advertising resources, such as TV shows, radio, magazine book publication, and movie projects. Green represents Fire Up Connect's referral system, tracking incentives. And blue represents Fire Up Connect's donation, fundraising, and scholarship programs. Fire Up Connect members have access to monthly business sessions, price discounts on affiliated companies, and all Fire Up Connect programs, book publications, published articles for your business, access to Fire Up Connect scheduled webinar events, a photo shoot session, and a video production. Join us for our annual Fire Up Live seminars and gain valuable connections in the Fire Up community and boost your business. We believe in your business. We believe in what you do. At Fire Up Connect, we believe in you. Join us for our annual Fire Up Live seminars to gain, discover, and get fired up.
Real Men of Real Estate.
Men of Real Estate radio show here on KCAA.
Boats, mortgages can be purchased.
All of us want to live in thriving communities.
Basically, go to the radio station, KCAAradio.com.
You can find us on your dial at 102.3 FM, 1050 AM, as well as 106.5 FM.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the Journey to Business and Entrepreneurship. My name is Brianna, and today's guest, we have Dr. Sharon Barnes. Sharon, we were actually talking about ADUs before the break.
Yes.
And I actually really wanted to ask you, so with the standard 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom house, are they able to use ADU, take advantage of this I guess, popular thing of an ADU?
Yes. In fact, the reason that we went, that they went to the state law is because, every community and every city, they vary. Mm-hmm. And some people are more welcoming than others to the accessory dwelling unit. And we have to, understand one thing, too, is that when it started, even in 2017, mm-hmm. it wasn't meant to be an affordable housing solution or a housing solution for the average middle-income homeowner.
Right.
It was for upper echelon people to build houses, sustainable houses for their parents in the backyard, for adult kids so they didn't have to go away to college,
right.
and different things. It wasn't meant to be this affordable, housing solution. Mm-hmm. But since our, housing crisis has just really elaborated and people start saying, well, not in my backyard because I don't want certain people. And, people got all kind of things in their mind that they think that happens. So they elevated to the state level so that basically every residential lot in the state of California can take advantage of the accessory dwelling unit.
Oh, nice.
Every residential lot, okay? Now, when you get there, it's kind of like, and you understand insurance, and we understand lenders, is that every lender, every insurance, different company, they have different overlays.
Yeah.
So the state says that every residential property can build an accessory dwelling unit.
That's amazing.
And these are the minimum requirements, and the local municipalities can't preclude them if they can meet these minimum requirements. Mm-hmm. But then we get to the cities and the different areas, and they say, okay, the minimum requirements, but in addition to that, you have to do something. And so what we're finding, say in the Inland Empire, one of the current problems or issues keep coming back up, and it's evolving, and it's city by city, area by area. But we have a lot of lots that are on septic. And septic is a different specialty. You have to get the septic companies out, to see whether or not the capacity can be increased to sustain another accessory dwelling unit.
Okay.
You have to see whether or not you'll need a separate septic tank, because if we're talking about being on septic and you got a 5-acre lot,
Right.
and now, like I said, recently, starting last year, they brought in State Bill 9 and State Bill 10, which is SB 9, SB 10, where you can subdivide your lot. So what that meant basically is that if you have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, and you have one of these deep rectangular lots, okay, that you can build an accessory dwelling unit, but when when I'm doing consulting and helping you walk that out, if we got this big lot, I want to see what you're in wants, what you want it to be. If you say, well, I really want to get like up to 4 units, or I want to be able to maximize this lot, then let's plan phase 1 to build an detached accessory dwelling unit, just say 1,200 square feet, if our budget can do this, right?
Right.
So we're going to do that, but we're going to put it towards the back of the lot. So it's going to be a substantial distance from the main house, and then we have to tap into the if it's sewer, we got to tap in at the street. So that's a longer trenching, and more. The longer you have to trench, the more work you have to do, the
Right.
greater the cost, right? But we know that this is step 1. So if we can do this, we put it back there, and at the time that we start the permit process for building that accessory dwelling unit, we let the city know that we want to subdivide that lot. Okay?
So anytime you're looking into adding an ADU onto a property, it has to be permitted by.
Oh, it has to be
Okay.
permitted. Yes,
Okay.
we do not want unpermitted structures
Right.
in a sue-happy state like California. Okay,
Right.
and like I said again, the amnesty to bring things up to compliant is very important, because we've seen now with some of our extreme weather. We have a lot of fires. If
Yeah.
you are renting out or allowing people to live in an unpermitted structure, and heaven forbid anything happens, it can wipe you and your family. You do not want
Yeah.
anybody getting hurt on an unpermitted structure or on
Yeah.
your property when you had no right to allow people to live there. So we just, and now's the time. Like I said, there's amnesty and there's ways. It costs money, but it's ways to bring it up to par and to get it, modified where it'd really be worth it. I mean, you can relax easier. You can create that wealth. You can increase your retirement or your cash flow,
Right.
and know that it's fully permitted so that it can bring value for years to come.
Okay. And how long would you say that it takes on average to get it approved for ADUs through the city?
City by city. Where I was just talking, I was out at the small Tiny Home Fest yesterday, focusing on accessory dwelling units. There were tiny homes there too, but my focus is accessory dwelling units. And so every city is different.
Okay.
And again, when I referred to the ADUs as a wave that's like coming, so there's a lot of people. So of course in LA, San Bernardino, San Diego and Orange County, they have a whole lot going.
Right.
And so in some of those areas where there's a lot of activity, the permit process going through that city or county entity could be, 3 months to 6 months for the permits. Okay. But then there's some that's maybe not getting that much activity, and they're well staffed, that they actually can do it within, 2 months. And in fact, the state law, one of the 18 laws that passed this year, required the cities to do permits within 60 days.
Oh, okay.
But the reality is, with our with the economy, with people that didn't return to work, and some people are just we're not staffed in our entities, governmental entities, to really meet the demand in some areas, and that's been almost like an impossibility. So when we talk to people, we tell them, let's, if everything goes well, and we're talking about getting the idea out of your head onto a piece of paper,
Right.
okay, with the architect to do a rendering, and then do a full set of drawings and submit that, and to get it through the permitting process with your city or county, and then do any revisions or changes or any issues that come up, to look for 4 to 6 months.
Okay.
Okay, and that's just on the permit process.
Okay.
Now, there's just different timelines with finishing the project.
Right.
If you go with modular off-site construction, the modular providers that I work with are saying that they don't have to wait for the permits to be fully permitted before they can start the structure. So
Really?
while while your drawings are going through permit, they're building the structure so that by the time the permits come out in 4 to 6 months, your structure could be built, and then within like a couple of months, you would actually have a finished product.
So I'm
Okay?
wondering what would happen if it got denied, though, and they're building the structure.
Well, we know really, really fast whether it's going to get denied. What
Oh,
it is,
okay.
it's like I say, the denial
Okay.
is like, so we're talking about
I'm like, that seems risky.
Yeah, but no, not. It's more risky if you're a do-it-yourselfer and you've never done it before.
Right.
It's not as risky if you're working with a consulting team like myself and
Okay.
like resources that are experienced,
Okay. That makes
contractors
sense.
and architects that know,
Right.
and they know their job, they know how to do it, they're familiar with the city. Another thing I mentioned earlier, like with the show that I have on the first Saturday of the month here at 1 o'clock, and I focus on accessory dwelling units. One of the things that I have really tried to do as well is to bring local resources, people who are in our community, who know our community, because it varies state by state.
Right.
I mean, I keep saying state by state, but city by city, county by county. And so if someone's only operated in LA County and everything, to come to Riverside or San Bernardino, the rules are different. They don't
Right.
understand the flow. And yes, everybody has their first time,
Right.
but you need to know that. So it makes a difference. So we need to, when we're dealing with licensed, qualified, experienced people, we put together the best team to bring your dream of an ADU to reality. It's not risky. We're not waiting months to find out.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. So basically, it sounds like what you're saying is that if someone is in a position where they want to add an ADU to their property, the first step would be to call someone like you, who is a consultant, who can help walk them through it and let them know what options they have.
Yes, because I think it's this. What I've found in the niche that I found with needing the consulting service and being like a resource hub is that there's a big gap between the owners and the property owners and the people who have the desires for the ADU and the ones that can actually do the job.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead and go on a break, and then
Join me every Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations radio talk show. I spent decades as a professional construction manager, business owner, real estate developer, and a college educator, and I enjoy learning new things from other people. We talk a lot about real estate, business, and finance, but we cover a diverse range of other topics as well. Some of the topics we've discussed in the past few months include real estate investing, leadership, higher education, ADUs, marketing using technology, multifamily rental properties, business strategy, entrepreneurship. You never know who may show up or what they may talk about. So join us right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio.
Hello, welcome to Fire Up Connect. Are you a small business owner? Do you lack the resources to manage your business? Is visibility and brand awareness a top priority for you? Fire Up Connect is a community of small business owners. We help our members find the right connections and the right resources to help them be successful. This isn't your typical business networking group. Members of Fire Up Connect are innovative, driven, and all about building long-lasting relationships. We work to identify your goals and understand what it is you do and how we can help you brand yourself and your business. Fire Up Connect is about creating business opportunities, community projects, educational sessions, and live seminars to help implement effective marketing programs for our members. Fire Up Connect helps members gain validation in their businesses, learn what challenges similar business leaders are facing, and access to subject matter experts on how to overcome these challenges. Fire Up Connect offers opportunities for organic exposure through our many marketing events, programs, and projects. There are 4 colors that make up Fire Up Connect. Yellow represents the back office and services available to Fire Up Connect members. Red represents Fire Up Connect's marketing and advertising resources, such as TV shows, radio, magazine book publication, and movie projects. Green represents Fire Up Connect's referral system, tracking incentives. And blue represents Fire Up Connect's donation, fundraising, and scholarship programs. Fire Up Connect members have access to monthly business sessions, price discounts on affiliated companies, and all Fire Up Connect programs, book publications, published articles for your business, access to Fire Up Connect scheduled webinar events, a photo shoot session, and a video production. Join us for our annual Fire Up Live seminars and gain valuable connections in the Fire Up community and boost your business. We believe in your business. We believe in what you do. At Fire Up Connect, we believe in you. Join us for our annual Fire Up Live seminars to gain, discover, and get fired up.
Real men of real estate.
Men of Real Estate radio show here on KCAA.
Boats, mortgages can be purchased.
All of us want to live in thriving communities.
Basically, go to the radio station KCAA radio.com.
You can find us on your dial at 102.3 FM, 1050 AM, as well as 106.5 FM.
Welcome back to the Journey to Business and Entrepreneurship. My name is Brianna. I'm here with Dr. Sharon Barnes. We were just having a great conversation talking about ADUs. Sharon, was there any last information that you wanted to speak about as it pertained to the ADUs?
Well, on the ADUs, we were talking about the gap between the people desiring to do an ADU and really understanding what it takes, because there's so many moving parts, and most of us have never built anything.
Right.
And so, it's important to get a team. And I know there's a lot on the internet. There's a lot of people out there, and there's a lot of builders and so forth. But you just can get so much information without getting in. And so, I've practiced law for 25 years. I've been in real estate for 15. I really like people. I like helping people. As a realtor and as an attorney, I just really wanted people to make informed decisions. It's not like everything would be right, but when you make a decision, make an informed decision and then move forward. Stuff happens, but we have to start walking it out. And so with the accessory dwelling units, I think it's really bringing all of my skill sets and all my experience where I can really help my community. And I truly believe this is one of the best ways to leverage California property.
Yeah.
But I did have like the aha moment when we were talking about entrepreneurship. It's like really to create the generational wealth and to change the lifestyle of my family, you have to treat it like a business. So I'm starting to really talk to my clients about getting their living trust in place, and especially maybe to put the accessory dwelling unit and the rental income into the trust that you can use for your family, whatever the needs are. A lot of people are building the ADUs for their family, for their mothers, for, a lot of time, it's a lot of mothers out there, unfortunately, that are widows or whatever. I mean, that just seem to be the people that are coming to me, and I know this building, 60% of the ADUs in the Inland Empire of clients I'm working with. And so, but there's going to come a time when that property is there for rental income.
Right.
Okay, we need to think about that.
Yeah.
But then while it's for mothers, you have to even think about recycling dollars, the way we talk about, and you have to charge mother rent, because if she's getting a certain type of income, she can't just stack dollars and they send her a check every month. So yes, she has to pay for her housing, but when she does that, if it's into a trust or it's into a business, you can write off her maid service. You can write off her transportation.
Oh, look at that.
You can send her to visit her grandkids in another state. Nobody tells you what to do with the money once you collect it as rent.
Right.
Let's recycle it and think about helping our family. And the same thing for adult kids. I have clients that are building the accessory dwelling unit so their adult kids can get out their house into the backyard. collect rent, and then we're going to help him buy a house. And by the time that happens, then his brother will be out there to replace him. Okay,
Right.
that's the transition that some people are planning for their
That's
kids.
actually really smart. Yeah.
Because it's so expensive in California. Okay, and so it's hard to get out of high school, get out of college with your first job, and go buy a house.
Oh, yeah.
And then with the rent you're paying, then why not pay it to the parents? And they can, if it's $2,000, $1,000 is for the
Right.
expenses, and $1,000 is for the saving account, and let's move forward. But it's for the family benefit.
Right.
And so treating it like that, with the trust, because as a realtor, I see that the average investor that I work with, they have like $5 million worth of assets in their living trust before they go into these joint ventures and these other people. That the family income of residual passive income through rental property management write-off are taken care of. Then I go do the LLC and go in business with
That
you.
is
Okay,
so amazing.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Because investments.
That's so smart.
Investments have an inherent risk of loss.
Yeah.
And people want to take care of their family. You want to be able to have those college funds. If you have special need kids, you want to be able that somebody's going to take care of them when you can't.
Yeah.
Okay? It's just different things, and we really need to take advantage of it. But to do that, I understand you have to build up your entrepreneur spirit.
Yeah.
You have to treat it like a business. Okay, and you can even get there are property management companies now that are starting to really manage the ADUs, so you can get property management. I mean, you can have that tenant back there can think that you're just a tenant in the main house. They do not have to know all your business, okay? And you don't have to collect rent and do all this stuff. So there's help out there, but we need to really look at kind of being entrepreneur and business minded when it comes to our family, because it's like a family corporation. We are a unit. We care about one another. We need to take care of each other when life happens. And the best way to do that is through entrepreneurship, business investments, ADUs, insurance,
well, even,
and different things.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like even with you talking about entrepreneurship, it sounds like you're pretty well versed in a couple different industries. You do ADUs, real estate agent.
well, actually, when I was practicing law, like I said, I opened up my office. I mean, we had everything from prayer meetings to business meetings or whatever. It was always about helping my community, helping emerging business owners. So I did business formations. Cut my teeth in aerospace, so I know clients.
Very well rounded.
Government contracts and all that stuff. And then it actually was my clients, mortgage brokers, developers, investors that were having various projects that were really pushing me into real estate, because even as an attorney, I could not share in commissions or a certain amount of profit in a project if I didn't have the real estate license or had another relationship.
Right.
And so they really pushed me there. And then life happened with me with the health issues and different things in my family. And that side real estate became the leader.
Right.
And the law became a value-added service.
That's so amazing.
Okay. And then, like I said, now with the ADUs, it's bringing the legal, it's bringing the residential and commercial real estate experience, and my passion for my community all together. And so I'm just really trying to walk this out and make a difference.
That's really amazing. So how long have you been an entrepreneur?
I've been an entrepreneur. I would have to go back from when I opened my own law firm, and so I would say more than 35 years.
No way. That's amazing.
Well, I mean, I'm married. My husband and I have been married for more than 38 years.
Hey,
and
congratulations.
My soulmate. I met the one for me. And we've been through a lot. But there was a time when I got sick going through when I had pregnant with my daughter, and I got very sick, and I was working for a law firm, and everything worked out. But later, the law firm had financial problems, and at the time that they started downsizing, I had a special needs child, and I had a medical history I had to disclose that would impact anybody's medical insurance, any small business. If you're hiring somebody and they got pre-existing conditions, I mean, now we have, better health care availability now. But back then, I mean, if you come in and you had diabetes, you had a heart condition, you had some type of history, I couldn't hire you because I couldn't afford to give you benefits. like everybody else. So when I laid out, I couldn't convince anyone that I could work 40 hours for them, even though I could work 80 hours for myself. And so, I was grateful that I had been blessed to go through law school, to work with the law firm, to have business experience that I could leverage. Because if I didn't have that, I would have had to start all over.
All right, we're going to go ahead and go right back to break, and we'll be right back with you guys.
This is Steve Matley. Join me every Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations radio talk show. I spent decades as a professional construction manager, business owner, real estate developer, and a college educator, and I enjoy learning new things from other people. We talk a lot about real estate, business, and finance, but we cover a diverse range of other topics as well. Some of the topics we've discussed in the past few months include real estate investing, leadership, higher education, ADUs, marketing using technology, multifamily rental properties, business strategy, entrepreneurship. You never know who may show up or what they may talk about, so join us right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio.
Hello, welcome to Fire Up Connect. Are you a small business owner? Do you lack the resources to manage your business? Is visibility and brand awareness a top priority for you? Fire Up Connect is a community of small business owners. We help our members find the right connections and the right resources to help them be successful. This isn't your typical business networking group. Members of Fire Up Connect are innovative, driven, and all about building long-lasting relationships. We work to identify your goals and understand what it is you do and how we can help you brand yourself and your business. Fire Up Connect is about creating business opportunities, community projects, educational sessions, and live seminars to help implement effective marketing programs for our members. Fire Up Connect helps members gain validation in their businesses, learn what challenges similar business leaders are facing, and access to subject matter experts on how to overcome these challenges. Fire Up Connect offers opportunities for organic exposure through our many marketing events, programs, and projects. There are 4 colors that make up Fire Up Connect. Yellow represents the back office and services available to Fire Up Connect members. Red represents Fire Up Connect's marketing and advertising resources, such as TV shows, radio, magazine book publication, and movie projects. Green represents Fire Up Connect's referral system, tracking incentives, and blue represents Fire Up Connect's donation, fundraising, and scholarship programs. Fire Up Connect members have access to monthly business sessions, price discounts on affiliated companies, and all Fire Up Connect programs, book publications, published articles for your business, access to Fire Up Connect scheduled webinar events, a photo shoot session, and a video production. Join us for our annual Fire Up Live seminars and gain valuable connections in the Fire Up community and boost your business. We believe in your business. We believe in what you do. At Fire Up Connect, we believe in you. Join us for our annual Fire Up Live seminars to gain, discover, and get fired up.
Real men of real estate.
Men of Real Estate radio show here on KCAA.
Boats, mortgages can be purchased.
All of us want to live in thriving communities.
Basically, go to the radio station KCAA radio.com.
You can find us on your dial at 102.3 FM, 1050 AM, as well as 106.5 FM.
Welcome back to the Journey to Business and Entrepreneurship. My name is Brianna, and I am here again with Dr. Sharon Barnes. So Dr. Barnes, I know we were talking about a couple different things with regards to your mini businesses. Now, I would like to know a little bit more about, entrepreneurship. So I think that's a huge thing that people are talking about nowadays. What do you think is a mindset you would have to have in order to be a successful entrepreneur?
Well, first of all, I really think that you have to continuously invest in yourself. and if you want to be in business, and you have to get a clear understanding of a difference between a hobby and a business. As they say, I was always
That's
reading.
a good one.
Jim Rohn, I think.
I love him.
Yeah, in his book, he say, many business owners that we're not really entrepreneur. We have entrepreneur seizures. And it was like, because we get so busy doing it, and if you step back and just look at your business, and if you're just working in it, and if you stop, it stop.
Yeah.
You do not have
that's
a
that
business.
Self-employed thing.
You do not have if the business stops when you stop, you haven't created a business. You just created a job for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
The business is built on systems and putting together the right foundation so that you don't have to do everything. And I know that's easier said than done, because I'm still striving for that. And then things change. It's just like being in the ADU niche. I was trying to take my business to another level. I had the opportunity to focus, and they were saying focus on one part of real estate, and I really couldn't figure that out.
Right.
And then I got introduced to accessory dwelling units, and now so you have to be flexible. You have to have a business mind, and you have to really look at putting in the place things that can keep going and generating revenue when you're not able to do it. It is very, and putting a formal business structure in is one of the things, and it's not always the LLC, sometimes it's a corporation, but where you'd have to get a consultant to really look at the purpose, and I could tell you the difference. But I had one client, her husband, got sick, and he was architect, had drawings and everything in, but he was doing a sole proprietorship, kind of like a DBA. When he got sick, everything stopped.
Yeah.
And because it wasn't a formal business entity, the spouse, no one could hire anyone to come in and take over. Basically, when he stopped, the business stopped.
Right.
And everybody understood for a couple of weeks. But when he couldn't return to work, it's like, well, who's going to finish my drawings? Who's getting my permits? Who's whatever? And they called me trying to, see what they could do. But, if it's not a formal business entity, it's hard to get help when you need help for you or your family. I think
that's a great point that you brought up, because even for me, for years, I've been in the life insurance industry now for 10 years, and I didn't really realize that it wasn't a real business, because if I stopped working, the income stopped too.
Right, exactly.
So it was more recently, last year, I ended up making that decision to actually build my agency and everything. So it's actually been quite a bit of a process, but it's exciting at the same time.
It is.
And I know it's going to be extremely rewarding when I do get everything up and going like that. Now, are there any people that you would suggest that we follow, or any books that you really resonate with? That, for anyone who's like on that path of wanting to be an entrepreneur, maybe currently has a job, a regular job, 9 to 5, but they're like, man, I want to do something on my own, and actually create my own wealth rather than helping my employer get richer.
Well, oh God, that's such an open question. I've read a lot of books, and everybody's one of the richest men in Babylon, like Jim Rohn and different things like that. But I would say to look for accredited people in your industry or what you're interested in. I love YouTube University. We can learn anything. Just type in. So if it's insurance or whatever, if I want to learn how to put together an investment package, let me just go and start there. And you have to sift through things, but look for reliable sources in an area that you want to, and look at what they're doing and the infrastructure in their business that they put in place, and don't buy into the chaos and then flying by the seat of your pants.
Yeah.
And you can follow me on social media under Dr. Sharon Barnes, Real Estate, ADU Advantage. We're on LinkedIn. We have an awesome YouTube channel where I have a lot of resources, and just reach out to me. But ADU Advantage now is our website.
Okay.
And so plug in, connect with me, and we'll be bringing resources and recommendations that'll help you move your business to the next level and help your family create generational wealth.
That's awesome. Thank you, Dr. Barnes. We appreciate having you. And if you're someone who's interested in learning about more information about investing, and we do have an I3 Social Club. It is an investment organization or an investment club that helps educate people on on real estate, not just real estate, but all things investing. We will be having a lot of different workshops. So if you want more information on that, you can go to meetup.com and get that information. Just type in I3 Social Club, and yeah, feel free to reach out. We'll be more than happy to help you guys. Have a great day.